Hello and welcome everybody to this night shift of the HeflaTV, where we will bring you some American Dota, Join Dota League Season number 3. It's gonna be the Thundercats versus Los Pricarditos. My name is Coacher and I will be joined by Grindis for this game.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know, nothing too unconventional coming out from either of these teams to start us off. I haven't watched both of these teams play very much, and at least in the Joint Dota League Season 3, they've only played one set of games, as far as I'm aware, and both of them lost. Yeah. So in the end, it is going to be Doomface's Void, Lycanthrope, as well as Razorband out in the first stage, with the first pick Shadow Shaman coming out from the Thundercats.
Yeah, Shadow Shaman is definitely one of the top supports out there at the moment, I think. It used to be first pick material for most teams, but some went for like Brewmasters instead maybe. But still, it is usually picked in the first phase at least, maybe if not just completely as the first pick. But the Thundercats, they give that hero a lot of credit. And do you actually think we're gonna see maybe some more push out of them, get something like a Death Prophet on top of it? Or is it just getting the solid support and going from there?
I would not be surprised if they did angle towards more of a pushing lineup, but even just as a standalone hero, Shadow Shaman functions very well, with the single target lockdown that he offers, as well as the ability to zone out offlaners, and especially on the dire side, the access to Roshan he gives you with the Serpent Words is always something very good to come out of a support. So we'll just have to see what Thundercats are going to do with this Shadow Shaman, but that's definitely an option.
Yeah, and Los Pricarditos as well, picking up yet another so-called powerhouse hero, the Tidehunter for themselves. Just really good, solid AoE control in the team fights, of course, having the Ravage. And overall, really good offlaner as well, just a beefy hero with the Anchor Smash and Kraken Shell. Really hard to actually bring him down as well, even as a tri-lane. So, I guess just no surprise picks yet. Alchemist though, secondary pick. I guess it's a little bit out of the ordinary at the very least.
Definitely, we'll have to see how Los Bricarditos are going to utilize this Alchemist. I'd assume that's going to be their mid hero. But up against a Viper, the Alchemist is going to have a pretty terrible time if that is the mid matchup, so they might decide to do something a little bit different with that Alchemist pick, whether it's a roaming support or as their safe lane carry. We'll just have to see a fairly versatile hero.
Yeah, it definitely is, and like you mentioned, Viper usually just completely dominates, or would dominate against Alchemist in theory. And I actually just saw that matchup, I think it was even yesterday. It was Titan against MSI Evolution. And man, Titan was playing the Alchemist. The Viper was like 20-5 or something when the Alchemist was 1-0 in last hits. So yeah, that's definitely not a favorable matchup for the Alchemist there. So we'll see if they actually want to lane it like that. But looking at the last set of bans, it's the Death Prophet as well as the Nature's Prophet. So both Prophets taken out by Los Pricarditos. Don't want any more push to go for the Thundercats. Whereas Thundercats, just banning out Teamfight as well as, of course, Naga Siren. Once he gets the Radiance, it would be so extremely hard to actually shut that hero down.
Yeah, definitely. I still think that Thundercats could go a little bit more all-in push. Maybe they even go for the Pugna, a hero that we haven't been seeing as much as of late, but still kind of fits the same role as the Death Prophet. But we'll just have to see. I don't know. The first two picks coming out from both these teams don't really show their hand as to what they want to flavor their lineup as. Just a little side note on the Alchemist. Usually wants to take over the lane with the Acid Spray, but he can't really do that up against the Viper because of Corrosive Skin. But he is on the Radiant side, so if he is in the mid, he can stack those Ancients and farm those up to at least stem the bleeding from losing your lane against the Viper. The next two picks, we're going to have Skywrath Mage on Los Pricarditos, and the Thundercats are going to pick themselves up a Wraith King.
Yeah, it's Wraith King. Do you actually think it's gonna be a support or carry one here, or how would you prefer it against the three heroes that Los Pricarditos has so far?
It's pretty hard to tell at the moment. Wraith King could fill either of those roles. I'm going to assume that he is going to be part of the tri-lane, however, with the Shadow Shaman. Whether they give the Wraith King the farm, or whether he's just there for the additional stun, we'll just have to see.
Indeed we shall, and well, Los Pricarditos so far, they have pretty solid just set up for the Skywrath Mage, Mystic Flare if need be, Unstable Concoction, and of course the Ravage as well. Can even go for more lockdown if they really want to, but I guess they have their offlaner, the potential mid laner in the Alchemist. If they really wanted to, an Enigma would also be a possibility, but Enigma is really a hero that only just handful of teams run, and even that usually when you just have some other form of push on top of that as well.
Yeah, I'd be kind of scared for them if they do go for that Enigma, because that would allow the Thundercats to go aggressive very easily with the Wraith King as well as the Shadow Shaman. Just a lot of killing potential, coming out from both of those heroes, or on the other side, it could give them the green light to go incredibly greedy. And, I don't know, maybe pick up something for their own jungle, but we're going to have a Weaver pick from Los Bricarditos. And honestly, it's good against the Viper, against all of his slows, but against the Wraith King and the Shadow Shaman, they have plenty of lockdown to deal with the Weaver already. And if you have another spell to control up that Weaver, this Weaver is going to have a bit of a difficult time, and I just worry that he's not going to get online fast enough.
Yeah, when I saw the pick, I had exactly the same worries. It's like, Wraith King has a really good stun, 2-second stun of course from the Wraith Fire Blast, Shadow Shaman, both the Hex and the Shackles against Weaver. Oh man, it might be an extremely hard game for him. He's most likely gonna have to just rush the Lincoln Sphere anyway, I think here. And wow, Thundercats, a Templar Assassin for them, so I guess that means Wraith King support, and it's gonna be a tri-lane farming Viper.
I really don't like that. I don't think you put Templar Assassin mid versus the Alchemist if they assume that's the mid matchup. I think you farm the Templar Assassin in the safe lane. To be honest, the acid spray coming out from the Alchemist is going to eat through the refraction. It's just going to be a consistent source of very annoying harass for the TA to deal with. And I don't know, that's not a lane that I'd want to put my Templar Assassin in, especially when you have a support, or if they pick up a support that can roam onto that lane and kill the TA with rotations. I don't know, we'll just have to see who's going to get the better hand of these lanes. I think putting up the Viper towards the mid is safer. But if they do move this Alchemist into a more farming role and maybe they put the Weaver towards the mid, I don't know. Not really feeling this TA here, but they have a very scary Roshan lineup at the very least with Wraith King, TA, and Shadow Shaman. If you just like, I don't know, even just the Wraith King TA can really easily take that out early.
Yeah, definitely can, and actually, speaking of the potential of the Templar Assassin going into the safe lane, I have seen it run a couple of times when the mid matchup otherwise would be unfavorable, and like you said, against the acid spray might be a little bit troublesome. And do you think the Templar Assassin is as viable in the safe lane, getting less levels and just getting the guaranteed farm, or?
I personally don't like Templar Assassin in the safe lane as much as I like it mid, so maybe we'll just have to bite the bullet and throw him up against the Alchemist, but then again, that would be giving the Alchemist maybe a little bit more room than they'd want to. I don't know, it's up to the Thundercats at this point.
Yeah, indeed it is, and last set of bans, Earthshaker banned out by Thundercats, whereas the Clockwork taken out by Los Picarditos. I mean, Earthshaker definitely would have fit, but oh, they go for an Ember Spirit instead, so I guess that does mean now that the Alchemist will be a support one, and if it's gonna be an Ember Spirit mid lane up against Templar Assassin, then Templar Assassin probably, I mean, of course, just comes down to player skill as well. But wow, okay, an Omni Knight pick, but the Ember Spirit against Templar Assassin is good because of the Flame Guard completely rips apart the refraction, of course. But Templar Assassin then again has the damage to actually deal with the Ember Spirit, since Ember Spirit is most vulnerable to the physical aspect of this game. So we'll see, but this Omni Knight, man, did you expect this coming?
Absolutely not. I don't know, it's going to give them a little bit difficulty early on trying to catch up with the heroes. They might even opt to put boots on the Wraith King or the Shadow Shaman so that they're able to, or really early on in fact, in order to get in range to try to get the kills. The Omni Knight, I don't really feel where he fits into this lineup. He's going to be very good against the physical damage coming out from the Weaver, Ember Spirit, and potentially the Alchemist. Even just the stun coming out from him will be nice to be blocked. I don't know. I'm not sure how they're going to lane this. Omni Knight leads a little bit more levels than other supports do, and his laning is very lackluster, so let's see how they're going to handle this.
Indeed, but just to go over the lineups fast, for Thundercats on the dire side, who, well, all of them are with stand-in tags. A little bit weird to see the entire team being like that, but nonetheless, Bang will be playing up on the Viper, leaving Sylan on the Wraith King, as Reality, at the moment at least, heading towards the mid lane, and with his item decision, probably will be mid lane after all, the Puddle Rush, as Chrysalid is going to be on the Shadow Shaman, and safe lane Omni Knight will be played by DK.
Well, on the side of Los Bricarditos, we're going to have a Weaver played by Link, and then he's going to be followed by Derp W on the Alchemist with a Scarith Mage played by Slender. They're going to be roaming towards the enemy safe lane for now, probably just going to be securing some wards. I don't think there's going to be any action. In the mid lane, we're going to have Citrix playing on the Ember Spirit, and the safe lane Tidehunter is going to be taken up by Net17.
Oh man, so both teams are going for an aggressive tri-lane, and do you think, or at least so far, and do you think that one of the teams was expecting it from the other and just kind of went for the dodge, or did they actually both want to match up against the tri-lane?
I have no idea, but I think that Los Bricarditos are going to have the better laning choices here. I don't know, Tidehunter is going to have a bit of trouble down this bottom lane. He's pretty much just going to be soaking experience at the very least, and he'll probably have to rely a little bit on the ancient stacks coming out from them in order to catch up later on in the game, but as long as he doesn't die, he should be fine. The Weaver, after a good early start, should be able to solo lane up against the Omni Knight fairly easily. There's not a lot that the Omni can do to pressure the Weaver, so that'll leave your Skywrath Mage as well as your Alchemist to start roaming around the map and making things happen. With a concussive shot to set things up into an Alchemist stun, they can kill most of these lanes fairly effectively and might make the TA's life fairly hard. I don't know, yeah, this Omni Knight solo, I just don't really feel it.
Yeah, it's definitely a hero that we don't see all that often. I do believe during TI we saw it maybe like once, where I think it was EG using it, and well, it worked out for them that time around, but not to say that it will this time, especially up against this tri-lane of Los Pricarditos. So, mid lane, of course, Ember Spirit already has started with the Flame Guard, really doesn't really want to go up too close at all, but he at least has his bottle, whereas Citrix has come for a rather different build, didn't get any tango share to him, so had to buy it himself, and actually picking up one clarity as well.
Very interesting to see the clarity on the Ember Spirit. Well, we are going to have a little bit of rotation coming out from the Shadow Shaman as well as the Wraith King. Let's see if it's going to come to fruition. The Ember Spirit, the target of this gank, will he be able to get the first stun off? He's playing fairly aggressively, and they will be able to get the Wraithfire blast off. The follow-up Shackles coming out from the Shadow Shaman. This should be our first blood here. No way to get out of this. He is only level 2, throws out the chains, but in the end, Reality picks up first blood.
Yeah, it was so close to actually the Shadow Shaman going down as well, just to the tower, because he was in tower range. I feel like he maybe, in theory at least, could have positioned himself a little bit better, run more towards the stairs here and then go for the Shackles, but better safe than sorry, and kill secured. He survives. I mean, he had to, would have had to pop the healing salve anyway, probably. So, not that big of a mistake or anything, and of course, first blood just gonna help out so damn much, and they were able to give it to the Temple Assassin as well, which is so damn important.
Definitely. I don't know, the Wraith King's made his way up towards the top lane. I'm not sure what he's actually going to accomplish here. He will be able to pick himself up an Invis Rune and maybe turn that into a gank. He will leave it for Reality, however. Yeah, Omni Knight's doing just fine. He's eating a couple of nukes from the Skywrath Mage, but managed to find his level 3, which is admirable up against this lane, and hasn't really been forced to use any of his mana at all. I don't know, usually, or at least when I saw an off-lane Omni Knight, you just throw the repel up while you walk up to the lane. He does have the Wraith King here. I'm not sure what they're going to be able to accomplish with this Wraith King sitting in the lane, but we'll just have to see. The Tidehunter's almost been completely zoned out, but it also has his level 3.
Yeah, I would definitely rather see the Wraith King just once again go up into the mid lane, maybe bottom lane as well. But bottom lane, they're going for the Shackles as well. Will it be enough? Nate 17. No, I don't think so. He should be tanky. One point into Kraken Shell, Stout Shield as well. But that's a good thing about TC going for an aggressive tri-lane like that, or matching it up against the Tidehunter, is that they can leave the Viper solo so easily, since Viper just still kind of dominates the Tidehunter solo even.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know, this Tide should be safe, especially with the Wraith King up top, which Los Pricarditos do know is going on. They have caught eyes on the Wraith King at least a couple of times. I don't know, the Ember Spirit's taking a lot of harass in mid, up by the Templar Assassin. She's put 2 points into Meld, which I absolutely love in this matchup. Since the defensive refraction is not really going to be that effective, just the harass damage you can get out with Meld is fairly impressive.
Yeah, and the Ember Spirit just starts with such a bad base armor as well, but top lane, the slow goes out, unstable concoction into the AC spray sail, and oh, but nice repel. And now DK, he gets stunned himself, but I think they should be able to escape, or... Man, the chilling touch though. Actually, there's no chilling touch. This pause.
Yeah, Wraith King, his magic immunity is going to wear off in a couple of seconds. They've kind of split their targets. After focusing on the Wraith King earlier, Omni Knight was the one that was stunned up by the Alchemist, but that's going to wear off. I'm not sure what that pause was, to be honest. I sure hope something was happening that wasn't tactical. I don't know, stun goes away of the Weaver from the Wraith King. He tangles through the trees, and it looks like he's going to be fine. The Shikuchi comes through. Will it be enough? No, Weaver. Under towers just taking too much damage. One Purify would be enough from the Omni Knight, but just doesn't have the mana. Yeah, and
oh, mid lane actually, Reality, he got a solo kill in the meantime. I guess just putting those early points into Meld definitely helped out. Had to Meld at level 3, and I mean, like you already mentioned, it's just such a smart decision as well. Just maxing out Meld up against an Ember Spirit who only has 2 armor in himself. So, working out 2-0 so far for Thundercats. And I absolutely love the fact that DK has put in 1 point into the Degen aura already. The slow is actually pretty damn strong, and it also slows attack speed. so it just boosts your survivability.
Ember Spirit in mid is in a whole lot of trouble, shackled under the tower with the meld. One more auto attack's all that they'll need, and they'll be able to bring him down yet again. It just seems that he's not entirely used to playing up against this style of TA and wasn't expecting that to happen. Also, a good rotation coming out from the Shadow Shaman, so 0-3 is our kill scored, only about 5 minutes into the game.
It's looking extremely good for them. They're just farming up a little bit better as well on most every lane. Tidehunter and Omni Knight, I guess they're rather even. 5-0 for Omni Knight, 6-1 for the Tidehunter. But yes, this mid lane just making the biggest difference. I mean, in reality, he's already level 7 compared to the level 5 of the Ember Spirit. So before Ember Spirit gets that level 6 and the ultimate, he might be in trouble once again. In reality, just with one Psionic Trap going in with the level 3 meld might be enough to just get him a solo kill even.
Yeah, definitely. DK is still working towards his level 6, but unlike a Tidehunter, his level 6 really doesn't help you play as aggressively, and it's not very good at setting up kills. More a defensive teamfight ultimate, and I don't think that Thundercats are going to be grouping up that much. I don't know, we'll just have to see. Temple Assassin's next item is still up for grabs. What do you think he's going to be building this game? I'm kind of leaning towards an earlier BKB. I don't know, Ember and Mid's just getting absolutely trucked, but here comes the Scarlet Mage. They're going to be able to get a double kill coming out from Citrix, as he was able to get that tick damage off on both of them when they silenced up the Templar Assassin. And a good turn of events for Los Bricarditos.
Yeah, it was actually pretty sick that Templar Assassin, he wanted to go for the kill. Wraith King came in from side as well, but the Ember Spirit, he actually dodged the Brave Fire Blast with his Sleight of Fist, so that was really just beautifully done by him. And totally saved his life. I do believe that both the Ember Spirit as well as the Wraith King would have gone down regardless. But at least getting the kill on the Ember Spirit would have made it so that the Ember Spirit won't get the gold and the levels for it. So Ember Spirit at least getting a small revenge or just minor comeback from this.
Yeah, definitely. Another smoke picked up by the Alchemist, looking to get a little bit more aggressive on the map. It is coming off of cooldown in about 10 seconds, so I'd look for the Scarlet Mage as well as the Alchemist to group up and go for another kill. Down in bottom, they're going for a wraparound with Wraith King. They started with a couple of sources on the way of the Tidehunter, but he's going through the Ravage. They get it onto 2 heroes with the Ember Spirit coming in here. He's trying to get enough damage on the Viper, but he had a Remnant mid lane. Not doing as much damage as he'd like, but it should be enough to get the kill on the Viper, so at the very least a 1-for-1 trade. Wraith King makes it out, denies him, or, whoa. How did Tidehunter get that kill? I don't know, just the timing was right, I guess.
That was really weird that he got it. It was so long since he actually put any damage down on the hero. So should have been split between the creeps and well, but I guess he got a little bit lucky. DK might be in some trouble top lane. Gets the repel. No, the Ancient Seal is there and he goes down. Oh wow, well, suddenly 5-4 Los Bricarditos, man. They struggled a little bit early on, but looks like they've hit their groove.
Yeah, definitely. Once the Alchemist and the Scarlet Mage started moving around the map, that's kind of when things turned around for them. I don't know, I probably would have held on to Ravage in Net 17's position, but he made the smart choice. With the TPs come in, they were able to capitalize on that and make it a favorable trade all around the map.
Yeah, I mean, farm-wise, they are still a little bit behind, of course. The mid lane, just 44 and 13 to Templar Assassin compared to 20 and 0 on the Ember Spirit. But it's not that horrible, at least. Ember Spirit is about to hit level 8 as well, but now with the just availability of the 5 remnants, should be that much safer in the main lane. Top lane though, Weaver, he's gonna be in trouble. The Hex comes out, the Shackles to follow as well. Will there be the pure damage? Yes, there will. Oh my god, but he got the time lapse. Oh, Chrysalid, he lacked like 2 mana for the other shock there.
That's very unfortunate. And yeah, your Degen Aura and your Orb of Venom are not going to slow down the Weaver there. With the Shikuchi, is able to be just fine in the end. Let's see. Templar Assassin's item choice route, he's going towards a Hand of Midas, presumably with his Gloves of Haste in her inventory. And honestly, I'm not a huge fan in this game. I think Los Bricarditos are looking to fight a little bit and just leave the Weaver to be the one that's farming. I don't know. Guess we'll hold that thought, as down in bottom we have an Invis Wraith King. They want to make something happen on this Tidehunter yet again. He's hugging the tree line, however. And for now, they're going to just play defensively.
Yeah, coming back to the Midas for a second, it's definitely maybe a little bit greedy. Of course, they have the Shadow Shaman as well to just go for towers and what have you. I mean, yes, more levels, more farm on Templar Assassin in theory is going to be great. But Los Bricarditos, late game, I do believe they have a solid advantage there. So if Thundercats, if they just give too much time to Los Bricarditos, they might just end up regretting it.
Yeah, I don't know, I'd like to see the Thundercats go for Roshan very quickly.
Tidehunter shackled up, Viper Strike as well, and Purification to deal the pure damage. Well, this time it was an easy setup, and of course, They committed 2 more heroes than the last time as well. So, will they get the tower from this?
I don't know, but in the meantime, the mid-tier 1 under some heavy pressure as well, but pretty much all it is just heroes right-clicking towers. The Radiant Glyph is going to come out to delay this, but it looks like they're going to be able to get this tower one way or another. Yeah. So it doesn't look like the trade is going to be there in the dire tier 1 mid. Which
yeah,
is,
of course, just keep slowing them down as well as psionic traps. Making it so that Los Precaritas, if actually more TPs come in from Thundercats, they just can't really run away too efficiently. But top lane Weaver at least keeps on farming with a pretty nice pace as well. Has himself 60 last hits and working towards that Lincoln Sphere.
Yeah, I don't know, he needs to be a little bit careful sitting at this low HP. Just 1 or 2 auto attacks and a purification would spell his demise if he's not careful. And he doesn't have mana for time-lapse available, so I don't know. As long as he watches his steps, he should be completely fine. That said, the Omni Knight might not be so lucky with the Ember Spear rotating up top, but mid is more likely the next spot of our next engagement.
Yeah, Bang, he wanted to come in on the Viper. He actually just finished up the mech before he made the rotation here. Couldn't really catch them by surprise from the side, but you can see top lane Citrix. He already made the Omni Knight back off. Omni, of course, low on mana, but ETP's coming in. It's gonna be the Viper. Just wants to farm up and save the tower, I guess.
Yeah. Looks like that is going to be the plan. Templar Assassin's also made her way up here, but no real good way to initiate onto this Weaver. And Ember Spirit does have some remnants out somewhere. Let's see, where did he place one? Well, maybe he doesn't right now. He does have 3 remnants available, but with those remnants he can get out to safety if he needs to.
Yeah, the remnants are just so damn good, although I think you should always have one as a safety line just somewhere behind your tower or something. Especially up against just the shackles, or Hex into shackles might be his demise already. Especially if the meld just comes out for the physical damage. So, might be playing a little bit safer, but he may just want to save them for that burst damage, just triple remnant and go for the kill. Well,
yeah,
now he leaves one behind, so...
Yeah. It is going to be at a very interesting spot, but now in mid, they're going to try to go on him, but there's your remnant. Completely fine.
Yes, thank God that he actually left it behind before he went in like that. Would have been his certain death, but now he's gonna go back home. Another remnant into the mid lane, but Mass Serpent Wars down. Don't think they can defend this.
Yeah, tier 1 tower is pretty much as good as dead. And up top, they're not really able to do much at this top lane. Viper's sitting in a very awkward position. Does he have TP support coming in the tower? But it looks like Scarlet Mage and Alchemist are just going to back off. He's missing a couple of creeps up in the top lane as we speak.
Yeah, he just maybe expected the supports to be a little bit faster with the rotations just coming in to help. I mean, one Viper strike into the Alchemist could have been an easy kill, of course. But now, they can maybe even potentially push out the lane themselves. Omni Knight? Actually? Oh, never mind. What did he sell? Yeah, he got Arcane Woods. I think he used the Courier first to get the orb for it. The Arcane Orb, but... well, whatever the case, maybe Arcane Boosts are finally done, so can spam out the spells a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. After a lot of early action, we've kind of had a bit of a lull, so I guess it's a decent time to check out those golden experience graphs. The gold advantage is in the Thundercats' favor at about 5k, and experience is not as much, it's about 2.5, but still a decent advantage for the Thundercats, even though Los Bricarditos have managed to stem the bleeding after an early start for the Thundercats.
Yeah, but still a 5k gold is actually pretty damn huge, considering that the kills are even, of course. 2 towers have been fallen, whatever, by Thundercats, so getting 2k gold from that already, but oh, we might see a huge clash on top lane. 4 heroes grouped up from Thundercats, and 5 heroes from Los Bricarditos.
Viper manning up against the Scarlet Mage. He's going to be able to get the Viper strike off. Concussive shot is going to come out. Scarlet Mage ulti doesn't do a lot of damage to the Viper. The stun's coming out, but then again, it's just not doing enough. Slender, will he take down? He won't. One more auto attack will secure the deal, however. Dust being deployed by DK. They're going to be able to stun up the Weaver. Doesn't have that Lincoln Sphere available just yet. He's going to be able to get the time lapse up and try to juke towards the north. He does have that haste movement speed and walks down towards the south. X not going to do much there. The Courier has joined the fray, but Weaver's trying to make a turn here. He doesn't have a lot of backup. Purification goes the way of the Scarlet Mage, and Wraithing does not not have level 6. One creep away from it, but he won't fall to the last Gem Knight attack. They stun up the Viper, and here comes the Ravage. It's going to be huge onto 4, but they just don't have a lot of follow-up here. He tries to Remnant away the Ember Spirit, but it's just not going to be enough. Tidehunter gives away his life. Now the Ember Spirit's going to be the next to fall. 5 heroes are still alive on the Thundercats, and now they're going to be able to chase down the Alchemist, it seems. He's charging up a stun. He won't be able to get it off, however. Doesn't get the deny, and now Skywrath Mage is being chased down another time, and it looks like he's going to die twice in this entire engagement, and he will indeed fall. So 5 for 0 is the trade in this exchange.
Oh wow, that was just such a disaster for Los Pricarditos. They even popped the Ravage, but thank god that the Omni-Knight actually got his ultimate just before, so the damage follow-up just completely wasn't there. Mystic Flare was already on cooldown as well. Viper, he really tickled from that. His corrosive skin is of course max, so getting that extra magic resistance, but man, Thundercats, they just took that fight by storm, and I think the graphs are just gonna skyrocket after this fight, especially if the tower goes down.
Yeah, and it looks like indeed it will, and yeah, we'll probably have to wait before the graphs update, but I'd expect to see it just plummet downwards. This tier 1 tower, not the most important, but it looks like Thundercats are fairly open to Roshan, especially with a completed Desolator on reality. Now, this is incredibly scary for the Ember Spirit, Skywrath Mage, pretty much everybody on Los Pricarditos. The Tidehunter will survive for a little bit longer than the other 4, but even him can be pretty much 3-shotted by the Templar Assassin at this point.
Oh wow, such an early Desolator. I really love that pickup though. So far, nothing has been really too frightening to him, and he has the Omni-Knight to just rely upon with the Repel as well as the Purification to heal him up. So really like that item choice, and they're gonna go for Roach, just the 2 of them, with the lifesteal coming in from Wraith King. Only 1 point into it. And actually, Wraith King, he has not gone for a single point into the ultimate yet. Do you think he's actually holding a point?
He's holding a point.
Yeah.
He only has 1 point in his stats. I like this choice because as a support Wraith King, sometimes you just get caught out and you don't want to waste the ultimate cooldown, especially at level 1. So saving onto that point for the first usage of your ultimate, I think, is a solid choice.
Yeah, it's something that a lot of pro players actually do as well. I do believe I saw an interview with Sai from Evil Geniuses just talking about it as well, and the usefulness of not picking it up and not completely wasting it, because the cooldown is pretty damn long. One of the longest ultimate cooldowns even, to be honest, in this game, 260 seconds on the first level. So like you said, a smart choice there, and doesn't really want to waste it. But top lane, Chrysalid is hanging around on the Shadow Shaman, TK of course as well, but they don't really have the chump on the Weaver. They just need to Blink Dagger on Shadow Shaman at some point.
Yeah, I don't know, earlier on I was kind of concerned about this Omni-Knight pick, but yeah, as you said last fight, just showing how useful he was, keeping the Templar Assassin and everybody else alive with a beautifully timed Guardian Angel. And since he was able to get up all of those levels, he also has Purification completely maxed and 3 points up in the Repel, which is something that you just don't see from your support Omni-Knights. So, I don't know, with his way that he was able to lane, I quite like the pick. In the end, they throw Dust, it's not going to clip the Weaver, and he'll be able to TP out, or will he? No, not going to have the range for the Shackles or Hex.
Oh, but that was a brilliant move by Weaver, to be honest, just running there, making TC waste a sentry as well as Dust, but I mean, does it really help them too much? Because now reality, with his Desolator, he's gonna come for the tier 2, and they have Mass Serpent Wards as well, and Mass Serpent Wards, they're also physical damage, so with the Desolator helping out, the towers are gonna drop even faster.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, and looking at the updated graphs as well, suddenly a 10k gold lead for Thundercats and 7,500 in XP. I mean, this early on, it's gonna be a really just difficult feat for Los Pricarditos to actually try to stage a comeback, especially since the Ember Spirit has been struggling throughout the entire game almost.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Ember Spirit's farm, he just barely finished up his drums at 18 minutes in, and the Weaver also has just fairly lackluster farm. He's saving up for that, Lincoln Sphere. But I don't know, he's still quite a ways away from that, and even when he has that, he's just not going to be able to put out the damage. And even if he went for a damage item, the Guardian Angel from the Omni-Knight's just going to be so troublesome for them to deal with. We do have a Blink Dagger up on the Wraith King, and this is something very scary for them to deal with. I believe it's on the Courier. Well, that's a very loaded Courier. With the majority of an Aghanim Scepter, which is actually finished on the Viper now, and earned for the Shadow Shaman, I believe, and that Blink for the Wraith King. But yeah, once the Wraith King does put a point into his ultimate, he will be able to jump into the midst of the fight, and if he falls down, it's not really going to matter all that much. Time-lapse forced out in the top lane, that was just a couple of auto-attacks from the Templar Assassin. Nothing really was lost except for that time-lapse coming out from the Weaver.
Yeah, the funny thing is that the Templar Assassin actually didn't even right-click the Weaver himself. It was just the damage from the Psyblade. Oh man, it was two right clicks and he's down to, what, 1/3 of his HP. And man, being level 11, having that Aghanim Scepter now, 12-second Viper Strike cooldown, at least you can see that Los Picarditos, they're just trying to make the best of a horrible situation, but blink in, they get the stun. Mystic players there, Silent actually might fall, but breaking. Yes, the ultimate, that wow, meld hit. It brought down the Skyriff mate to like 10%.
Yeah, I don't know. Templar Assassin can play as aggressive as she wants. She has the Omni Knight to keep her safe. She has an Aegis in her pocket. So this Blink Dagger pickup that she got over at the side shop is, I don't know, very scary to go up against. And I don't think there's really anything stopping the Thundercats from going up high ground. The Tidehunter is behind the enemy tier 2 at the moment. I think they pretty much just forfeit this tier 3 at the moment. Tidehunter needs to TP back and look for a good TP Ravage, but this tower's just going to fall a little too quickly, I feel. Especially since he went all the way back to base.
Yeah, I mean, at least he has his mech now, but don't think it will make too huge of a difference. It's just so damn tanky. And well, they back off for the time being. The stun onto reality as well. Can they actually get the kill? But he has the Aegis, even if they do so. Repel is there, although he's stunned up Slender though. Rayfair Blast in the face, such some right clicks from Bang. And now Nate, he gets X'd up as well. Shackled up, can he even go for the Ravage? Yes, he can, but the Repel on reality. They just keep on going through with those right clicks. Purification up. All of them survive, and they're just being bullies. Oh man, the meld hit one right click. Wow.
Triple kill for the Viper, and that's your first set of racks. If not GG, I don't think they can get them out of their base.
Yeah, they probably can't. Just the sustain on TC is a little bit too strong. I mean, they don't even have a mech on them at the moment. They just don't care. Diurn keeps them healed up because they just get so many kills.
Oh, just look at that Ember Spirit melt. Alchemist also going to fall. Scarlet Mage has regen, but yeah, GG going to be called by Los Bricarditos.
Yeah, it's just a Temper Assassin. He has so much minus armor coming out. I mean, he himself has minus 15 minus armor already. So yeah, just nobody can stand up to that. Holy
yeah,
crap,
pretty
man,
much
this
sums
game.
up that game.
Indeed, Temper Assassin just getting on a huge roll early on. He just kind of outplayed the Ember Spirit by himself already, just going for the maxing out the meld first build. And then of course some support rotations helping out even further. And overall the lanes, DK he got a little bit more XP than the Tidehunter did. And I mean the Alchemist, not the Alchemist, the Omni Knight of course. So yeah, they just kind of won every single lane almost and took it from there. Just smart itemization and nice rotations. So worthy of the first game victory. But guys, this is a 2-game series, so Los Picarditos, they have a chance to actually make a comeback, get some revenge. But we'll see if they can do so. And as I say that, we're gonna head into game number 2's lobby. So guys, hang around, and if you enjoyed, be sure to follow us on this channel as well as HeflaTV too. And check out our social media, HeflaTV on both Facebook, Twitter and VK for the Russian viewers. But see you in game number 2.